Not knowing much about New Mexico, I was very impressed during my first visit. The scenery is absolutely amazing, and the combination of American, Mexican, and Native American cultures gives it a very energetic atmosphere. My first stop was the Taos Pueblo, about 2 hours north of Albuquerque. Taos is one of the 19 pueblos in New Mexico. The pueblo hasn't changed much in the last 1,000 years, and there are 70 people who currently live traditionally inside the pueblo.
Of about 2,500 enrolled tribal members. About 1,500 of those members do reside outside of the pueblo walls in the more modern homes. Then we do have about 10 to 15 families that reside here full time. So that is less than 70 people, but we do have families with children. We have couples, we have elders, and we have some bachelors. They don't just live in one section, they live throughout the whole pueblo wherever they make them their homes. And since we are not allowed to bring in the modern utilities, all of our homes here, they do have fireplaces, which keep them warm in the winter, and the adobe does keep them cool in the summer. An example of how our homes are built. The adobes, they are made from clay that is brought down from the side of the mountain, mixed in with straw and water. Then they are made into the brick formed. They are sun-dried for about 3 to 4 days. Afterwards, they are layered upon one another with the same kind of mixture in between. The final plaster does go on the outside, which is also made out of the same materials. All of these homes here, they are owned by the families, so they are passed down from generation to generation. And because we are more male-dominated here, they are usually passed down to the eldest son. But since they are owned by the families, it is their responsibility to maintain their home. Over here, these are the ruins of the original St. Jerome Church, and this one was first constructed in 1619. It was destroyed in 1680, and that was during the Pueblo Revolt, in which all 19 pueblos here in New Mexico revolted against the Spanish conquistadors. Over here, we do have the hornos or ovens. Horno is a Spanish word for oven, and the ovens, they are made out of adobe, and they are used for baking bread, pies, and cookies. So what we'll do is we'll build a cedar fire in the center, allow it to burn down to coals, then we bring out the coals and put in the bread, and it takes about 30 to 45 minutes to bake. Well, the oldest buildings that we do have here at Taos Pueblo are these multi-storied buildings, the ones you see on my right-hand side and on my left-hand side, and they are over 1,000 years old. They are also made out of adobe. The most modern part about them are the doors and the windows, which came in the early 1600s with the Spanish. Before then, our entrances were located on top of the buildings, which have now been turned into skylights. So as you walk into a shop, you will notice their skylight there, and that was their entranceway. And that was for protection against other invading tribes. So before nightfall came, everyone would get up onto that first level, then they pull up the ladder so nobody was able to gain entry throughout the night. Right here through the center of our pueblo is our main source of drinking water and our source of life. And it's some kids must have been playing. Someone will catch it. So it's called the Red Willow Creek or the Rio Pueblo de Taos. And it does come from our sacred Blue Lake, which is located about 25 miles upstream into that mountainous area there. Our Blue Lake Wilderness area was taken away from us by the U.S. government in the early 1900s and opened as a national park. So we did fight a long, hard legal battle for about 64 years, and in 1970, President Nixon did sign it back over to us. So the families that do reside here full-time, what they'll do is they'll walk down to the river, get bucketfuls of water, and take it back to their homes, and we do not need to purify our water in any way to drink it. There is fishing done from this river, mainly for trout. We do have our own sovereign government here at Taos Pueblo, so we do have our own tribal council, which approves all our rules and regulations for our people. It does consist of about 50 of our active elder men, and they are usually former governors and war chiefs. They are the ones that elect our tribal officials on the annual basis, which is our governor and his staff, which oversee this main pueblo itself and the welfare of our people. The war chief and his staff oversee our land, and we do own over 100,000 acres of land. They oversee our boundaries, and they oversee the animals. We do have traditional hunts throughout the year, in which the men do hunt for elk and deer. Tribal members do own horses and cattle. Then the tribe as a whole own a herd of buffalo. We do have tribal programs here. We have tribal police. We have an Indian health center where our people are able to seek modern medicine, and we do have our own school. It is located outside of our pueblo walls, and it does go from Head Start to 8th grade. After 8th grade, the children do transfer into public schools in town or the private schools, and they are taught the general academics in English. We do teach our native language there, which is Tiwa. Tiwa is taught from Head Start to about 3rd grade. After 3rd grade, it is really the responsibility of the parents and the grandparents to help maintain our culture and our language, which is all passed down orally.
Back in Albuquerque, as I was being treated to a Mexican cultural show, I thought about the importance of sharing our cultures with one another to gain a better understanding of all the different people we come across here in America.